Hello everyone, and welcome to training tutorial number 2 of the Lathe training tutorial series. As you can see here, I've already established my grid, and I've changed my default wireframe color to a dark blue. This is one of many of things that are covered in the Getting Started section at the beginning of the book that you should have already gone through. With that being said, let's get started on training tutorial number 2. Come up to the top and select Machine. Select Lathe and select Default. This will load up the machine group on the left-hand side. Along the bottom, you'll notice that we have tabs: Toolpaths, Solids, Planes, and Levels. Select Planes. If you don't see these tabs, come up to the top and select View, and make sure that they're presented here: Levels, Toolpaths, Solids, and Planes. Also, it is important to know, you also might have Auto Hide selected. Your screen might look something like this. If this is the case, hover over Planes, and just make sure you pin it. Come down to +D +Z, and make sure your construction and toolpath plane are selected here. Just click inside the box. Once this is done, select Toolpaths. Come up to the top and select Wireframe, and select Line Endpoints. Once you have line endpoints selected, insert the length 0.7 and hit enter on your keyboard. Change the angle to 90 and hit enter again. On your keyboard, hit the spacebar. Insert the value 0, -3 and hit enter. You'll notice that a line entity appears to the left of your origin. When this is done, select OK. Come up to the top and select Line Parallel. Select this line here and move it over to the right and select somewhere. Just sketch it. Give it an offset distance of 3. Come up to the top and select OK and Create New Operation. The difference between OK and Create New Operation and OK assumes that with OK, you are finished with this line and you want to exit line parallel. You don't want to create any more line parallels. Whereas if you select OK and Create New Operation, it assumes you are done with this line but want to stay in line parallel. This prevents you from having to go line parallel every time you want to create one. Select this line here and move it over to the left and sketch. Give it an offset distance of 0.25 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select this line again, sketch the line over to the left hand side and give this a value of 0.6 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select this line again, sketch a line over to the left side and give this a value of 1.1 and hit enter on your keyboard. Sketch this line one more time, bring it over to the left hand side and give it a value of 1.5 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select this line again, move it over on the left hand side, and give this a value of 2. And select this line one last time, move it over to the left hand side and select. Give it a value of 2.16 and hit enter on your keyboard. If you mess up at any point in this line parallel section, simply come up to the top and select Undo and just redo the line. Once this is done, select OK. Come up to the top and select Line Endpoints. Under Line Endpoints, lock in Horizontal, here. We are going to be creating horizontal lines. Select here and select the line here. For this step, it is important that the horizontal line passes through both the vertical lines. Give an axis offset of 1 and hit enter on your keyboard. Create a line here to here and give this an axis offset of 0.7 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select a line from here to here and give this a value of 0.3 and hit enter on your keyboard. Up at the top here, create a line going across and give this a value of 1.3 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select the line from here to here and give this a value of 1 and hit enter on your keyboard. When this is done, come over to the left hand side and select Freeform. Create a line from this endpoint to this endpoint here. Once this is done, create another line from this endpoint to this endpoint here. Select OK when done. As you can see, your geometry should look something like this. Come up to the top under Wireframe and under Modify, select Trim Break Extend. Select the Divide/Delete button under Type. Select this entity here, followed by this entity, and this entity here, to make your geometry look something like this. Once this is done, come over to the left-hand side and select Trim to Entities. We need to trim entity D to entity E. Zoom in if you have to using the mouse wheel. Entity E to entity F. Entity F to entity G. Entity G to entity H. Entity I to entity J. Entity J to entity K. I'm getting these entities by following the Mastercam training tutorial. When this is done, select OK. Come up to the top under Modify and select Fillet Entities. Once you have this selected, enter a radius of 0.25 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select this line here, followed by this line here. Hit enter on your keyboard. Change the radius to 0.1 and hit enter on your keyboard. Select this line to this line, select this line to this line, followed by this line to this line to create your fillets. Once done, your part should look like this. Select OK. If you notice that this line does not line up with your origin, simply come up to the top and select Transform. Select Move to Origin and select this endpoint right here. This will snap this endpoint to the origin. Come up to the top and select Home. Select this button here, which is Clear Colors, to get your original wireframe color back.